This is the Valerion VisionMaster Max, and it's been one of the most anticipated high-end 4K projectors to come out on the market for enthusiasts that have been following its journey, because it broke the record for the highest funded projector in crowdfunding history last year on Kickstarter. So I'm gonna find out if it lives up to the hype. I'll unbox it, we're gonna set it up, and talk about what makes this projector stand out. So first up, we got this big, beefy box sent to us from Valerion, and I just wanna make it clear that this is a sponsored video. Opening it up from the top, Valerion sent us this 8K HDMI 2.1 cable that is 40 feet long, and with projectors, you'll need that distance for large screen setups. Also, if you're wiring this and connecting it and mounting it on your ceiling, you're gonna need a long cable like this to run it all the way through there. It most likely won't come with your Valerion VisionMaster Max, but it was included in our package and it costs $29.99. You can purchase it separately on their store. Now let's get to the projector here, and it comes in this leather-bound casing that is the most sophisticated I've ever seen projector or any tech product, really. This is screaming high-end luxury good before I even slide off the top, which is no easy task, right? But once we get through that process, the VisionMaster Max has a plastic wrapping on it. But once I took it off, oh my goodness, this is hands down the most beautiful projector design that I have ever seen out of all the projectors I've seen. The VisionMaster Max is 10.2 by 7.3 by 9.2 inches for its dimensions, and it weighs in at 16.5 pounds. This is a beefcake, but it's a gorgeous one at that. I mean, look at those shiny metallic ribs that really just pop out. You also have this lattice pattern on the side between them. It has a completely flat front where the projector, right, this lens blends into the body. It's completely clean. And then a rear panel that hides all of its ports that we will get to. But the design here is not only minimalist, it's classy. And this is like, to me, a piece of modern art. That's how good it looks. And if you just have it hanging around on your coffee table at home for some reason, I think it's gonna be a conversation piece. I've never seen anything remotely close to this in the projector space from a design standpoint, and it is a bold decision that works for me. You also have this adjustable stand in the bottom front that is actually very tough to adjust, right? You have to almost pry it out, but because this is such a heavy projector, it makes sense that this adjustable stand is tough, so it stays in place, which is important when you're watching content. Now, what else is inside? The thickest, but also fanciest manual I have seen in a long time. Then we have this, the remote here, which is just as classy with a very modern and a less is more minimalist design approach with metallic accents. It is a backlit remote, so thank you for that, Valerion. We appreciate that. And it even has a dedicated Google Assistant button right here that's like a jewel on the top area of this remote. The whole Valerion VisionMaster Max design, just the aesthetic screams high-end and classy. And then you have the power adapter, which is the most basic part of this entire setup. So let's talk about this projector now and its performance, right? The VisionMaster Max is a high-end 4K triple laser projector. It has 3,500 ISO lumens of brightness, which means it can get very bright, and it's important for a projector in this class. Plus, it covers 110% of the Rec 2020 color gamut. It supports Dolby Vision, HDR10+, and IMAX Enhanced with dynamic tone mapping. And on the audio side, we're talking Dolby Atmos and DTS:X support as well. So all the formats that you want and expect from a high-end projector, it's got. But bright, yes, that's really important if you want this to compete with daylight, and it can to a certain degree, but no matter what image quality, it just won't look as good, because when you're competing with direct sunlight, that's always gonna be tough. But once you close the windows and dim your lights, or it gets later in the day, this becomes alive, and it is a whole different beast. Sure, the VisionMaster Max is bright, but it has specific technologies to give you great black levels and image quality as well. Now, Valerion's tagline is Ultimate Black, Ultimate Cinema, and Valerion's goal is to get the best black levels that they can give you, and also the best image quality and representation of the images we want to see from the creators. Now, it's Valerion's own enhanced black level technology that starts with a 5,000:1 contrast ratio, which is ideal for home theater use, but with a 50,000:1 contrast ratio for dynamic content. And that 50,000:1 ratio is really the target for these high-end 4K projectors. This projector has an industry-first 6-level iris with a black coating on the blades and inner barrel to absorb excessive light and giving you cleaner scenes. You can access this in the projector settings, and you can switch between 6 different levels and keep on moving up. But when you change from level 5 to level 6, the color temperature actually changes from cooler to warmer. This is just so you know, and you won't be taken by surprise, something to expect. Now, Valerion also has the world's first anti-rainbow effect technology, or RBE for short. So with projectors, you sometimes come across a rainbow effect on the edges around moving objects, and in the projector settings, you can actually turn this on, right, to remove that rainbow effect. So you should know the projector works a little harder, and you might hear this like subtle higher pitch sound when the mode is turned on, but it removes 99.9% of that rainbow effect, so it looks more natural. Now, I did find that the projector was honestly so good that I didn't really need it on, and I personally couldn't see a major difference, which is a good thing. Now, I admit I get spoiled by the truly deep blacks from an OLED TV display, but these are two different technologies. OLED TVs can be very bright, but better in bright rooms, and it can hit those godly black levels, but the main drawback is that you are staring directly at a backlit image that causes more eye fatigue. Now, with a projector, you're staring at reflected light off a surface, which is a lot better for your eyes. Another advantage projectors have is immersion, because you can have a much larger display area. In fact, the Valerion VisionMaster Max can project up to a 300-inch image, which is kind of crazy. And what you see here, I'm using an ambient light rejection screen for this review. It's a 100-inch screen, and when the lights are all out, you still get that intensity and brightness that looks great. But when I turn on my living room lights, I actually like how it looked a little more natural, and the strain on my eyes was significantly reduced, right? It does still pop, but it just doesn't, right, have that intensity, which I might like in certain situations, but man, it just felt more comfortable to look at. It didn't even look washed out. It looked more natural to me. Now, this has everything you expect, like auto screen fit, auto keystone, autofocus, and auto obstacle avoidance, all those settings that you need, but you can also do manual adjustments to make sure it fits your display properly. Another feature that is an industry first and something that I actually used was the Pro Optical Adjustment that supports lens shift for a plus or minus 105% offset. So without me having to move the projector at all or fiddle with it, in the lens shift setting, I can adjust the vertical position and make the fine-tuned adjustments to fit my screen perfectly, while keeping the VisionMaster Max in exactly the same place that I first set it down at. I didn't have to move my projector around to find that sweet spot, and lens shift is a great feature. Now, they also have an option with their first ever interchangeable lens here that can extend the throw ratio from 0.9 to 1.5 to 1, and a different lens gets you 0.9 to 2.0 to 1, which means that you can place your projector further away from the wall, and it's more ideal for larger rooms. Plus, you'll also get display zoom to help you as well, which is on many other projectors. Now, I've been playing all types of different content on here, from movies like Avengers, Infinity War. You got to watch Thanos just dominate. Also checking out animated content from DC Animation with Batman patrolling Gotham from all that riffraff. You got to get that fix of nature content and just hang out with these lions here. They're just running around with a water buffalo because they want to give it a big hug. Who wouldn't? And then with the NBA season recently kicking off, I can't get enough of my fix of basketball. The VisionMaster Max consistently looks great with all different types of content. And no matter what, having an image this big that looks this good, it is incredible. All right, now let's talk about the connectivity on the back and all the ports this has from left to right. You'll have DC in for your power. You'll have a port for optical audio, USB 3.0, and USB 2.0. Then you have these 3 HDMI ports that support HDMI 2.1, and a third port supports eARC to connect to your home theater system. That's also why you might need that long HDMI cable that I showed you earlier. Now, there's an analog audio port here, right, for your 3.5mm jack, and then an industry first 1 gigabit port on the back to get you the fastest bandwidth speeds for streaming content. Now, gaming on this projector leads the industry in the projector space with a 4 millisecond gaming latency. And if you're anyone who wants to game on the biggest and baddest screen, this matters for you. The VisionMaster Max will automatically detect when you turn on your game console and will switch over to its game mode to optimize its setting for gamers as well. Look, playing NBA 2K26 was just amazing on a screen like this big, right? Even Giannis was kicking my butt. Now, I didn't get into it yet because there were so many first of its kind features to talk about here, but yes, this does run on the Google TV platform, which is my favorite TV operating system that comes on many of your TVs today. It's here in this projector. I like its recommendation system that's based on content you watch. It doesn't seem wild and out of place. It's more relevant than any other platform I've seen. It's clean, it's simple, it's smart, and its integration with Google's smart home devices and the Google Assistant make it a perfect fit for me. There are even a physical switch here right on the top of the projector to make sure that the mic on the projector is either active or not. If you want to cast to this, you can do that too with AirPlay 2, Chromecast, and Miracast support as well. Overall, the Valerion VisionMaster Max helps push this category forward with new features that have not existed on any projector before it, and I love that. Plus, its modern and sophisticated design is absolutely stunning and makes this a very complete package from top to bottom. Now, there's been so much buzz around Valerion, and there was a certain level of pressure to deliver, and that's not easy, especially with how fickle consumers like you are these days. But from a hardware, from a feature perspective and design standpoint, this is easily one of the best projectors of 2025 and one of the best projectors I've ever reviewed. Now, the Valerion VisionMaster Max retails for $4,999, and you might be initially shocked, but compare what it can do with other similar projectors at its level in the market, match up its specs and its first ever features that it includes. Plus, you really have to factor in the design into this equation. Now, you might want to take advantage of this, a early bird super discount that is available for 5 more days. Pay a $100 deposit to get $1,000 off. So that means you can grab your VisionMaster Max for just $3,999. Plus, there's also a chance to unlock over $1,500 in extra gifts, so don't miss out.